Hi, my name is Jess, and I want to talk a little bit about what my neurofeedback experience was like. So, as any human, I was confronted with stress prior to my treatments. A lot of what I deal with is anxiety. That's my biggest concern is anxiety, and it sometimes is very debilitating and paralyzing. And I was taking medication before and after neurofeedback. I take Wellbutrin, which is a very mild antidepressant. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's not an SSRI. And it's helped me very much. I've been taking it for about 4 years. There wasn't anything in particular that made me try neurofeedback. I was actually visiting a friend, and I was given the lovely chance to do so. And I did, not knowing what to expect. During the treatments, in the beginning, I was a little bit confused because I knew something was happening, but a lot of my anxiety, by the way, is related to control. So there were moments where I was like, I'm not controlling what's happening, and that made me feel uncomfortable, which seems pretty natural. But then afterwards, I just started feeling great, and so I leaned into that. I like feeling good. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And so I leaned into it, and I knew something was happening, and I just let it happen. There have been improvements in my daily life since. I feel more grounded. I feel calmer. I feel like I have clarity. I feel like even though I'm human and I still have anxiety, it has not felt as debilitating since my neurofeedback sessions. I did 4, each one getting a little bit longer, the 4th session being quite long, in fact, in and around 2 hours. And I can't really explain what happened because I don't understand what happened neurologically, but I do know something happened and something wonderful happened, and I feel better. And that's a win for me. And I guess, my quality of life has shifted, right? I feel better. My sleep is better. I feel more motivated. I struggled with waking up early in the morning, and that has not really been a problem for me since. I don't know if it's directly related to the neurofeedback or whether just my motivation is greater because I'm dealing with less anxiety. So there is a direct improvement in my quality of life. And I just feel more open. I feel like I'm more ready to receive what the world has to offer me without the fears of life, if we're gonna get into some details. And like I said, I did 4 sessions, each one of the sessions getting a little bit longer. And the challenges that I encountered during the neurofeedback were just going back a little bit, just my lack of control, my lack of understanding. I like to be in control and I like to understand, and I couldn't control what was happening during neurofeedback, and I couldn't quite understand it fully. And so, as with myself in general in life, I feel like that, is a challenge for me, and it sets me back. But outside of that, I had a wonderful experience. And the role of my neurofeedback therapist in my recovery was wonderful. I felt like, even though this was something completely new to me, I felt like they knew what they were doing. I felt like this was something they believed in. I felt like this is work that my therapist is doing that is working and helping others. And it was just really cool to be a part of that. And the support that I was offered is, I would like to do more sessions, whether I find someone here or I go back to Europe and do some, I definitely want more. So I guess that's a good thing, right? Thank you for letting me share.